Whoever coined the term "the customer is always right," I'm gonna find you, bro. This is not a threat, it's a promise. I'm gonna find you, and whenever I find you, bro, I'm gonna all the things I'm gonna do to you, man. I'm telling you, the customer is always right has got to be the biggest pile of horse shit I've ever heard in my life. And I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I would say 90% of the time, the customer's a fucking moron, man. The customer's fucking retarded. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I can't stand the things you wouldn't believe if I told you the things that I've heard customers come out with, right? You absolutely wouldn't believe it. I have heard everything in the book being in my fucking shitty job for the last like 11, 12, what feels like 30 years and stuff. I've heard it all. At least that's what I keep telling myself. I keep telling myself I've heard it all. And then lo and behold, the next week, I hear some customer come out with some absolute fucking hooky. Some absolute hooky. I don't even know what the fuck they're saying anymore, bro. They come out with shit that I could never invent in my wildest dreams. Like, genuinely. I get people calling up and they start saying like, what's your recipe for this dish? And I'm like, lady, I don't know what the fucking recipe is. I just take orders, right? And then she starts going, because actually I'm a chef and you're cooking it completely wrong. I'm like, well, fucking go cook it yourself then, woman. What the fuck are you telling me for, man? And they will unironically, with like full confidence, just start telling me to tell the chefs how to cook the food better, even though the chefs have, one, they come from the country the fucking food originated from, and two, they've been cooking this food for probably about 30 to 40, I'm not even kidding, bro, probably about 30 plus years they've been chefs in other places and now here as well. Altogether, they've been there for 30 years, and this fucking woman seems to think that she knows better than a chef. People who've been a chef longer than I've been fucking alive, right? Like, it genuinely happens. I got one guy, and to be fair, this guy, he's actually quite a nice guy, but still, this is a good example. He'll order his food and he'll specify no sauce on his meal, which is weird because then it's going to be very dry and bland and just, I don't know why you would ever do that. But then he'll order a pot of the sauce on the side. And I'll say to him, like, bro, you don't have to buy an extra pot on the side. I can just do the sauce separately for you. We can do that. It's no problem. He goes, no. Don't do it separately because the sauce is different. I'm like, brother, it comes out the exact same pot. I promise you it's the exact same sauce. He goes, no, trust me. And he laughs. Trust me, dude, it's not the same sauce. I'm like, all right. So obviously I don't charge him for it. I just do the sauce separate like a normal person. And then he calls up the next time and he's like, oh yeah, that was absolutely perfect. And I'm like, because it's the same fucking sauce, bro. It's just complete placebo effect, man. Literally. I had another guy and he goes, I want no onions in the food because the last time you gave me onions and I was really upset, right? And I said to him, if that ever happens, just bring the food back. We'll replace it for you. We'll refund it. It's no problem, right? He goes, well, specifically no onions today. Otherwise I'm going to get angry. I was like, all right, fucking hell, relax, dude. So we put no onions in the food. He goes outside to his car. He comes back. He storms back in. He goes, mate, this is ridiculous. This is, again, I've asked for you no onions and you've again put the onions in there. I want a refund and I want the food for free. So he shows it to me. Bro, he's pointing to fucking bean sprouts. I'm like, brother, they're bean sprouts. They're not onions. And he just went dead silent and looked at me and went bright red. I was like, oh my God, brother, you're like 40 years old. How can you think of bean sprout as an onion, bro? Like, how long have you been alive on this earth, man? I understand that, like, I guess Westerners, we don't really use bean sprouts very often, but how the fuck can you mistake a bean sprout for an onion, bro? Like, Jesus Christ, come on. Like, it's one thing to be wrong, that's fine. I'm not trying to, like, shit on him for being wrong. What I don't like is when you're just so ignorant and so angry and you start taking it out on other people because you're just incompetent. That's what gets me. If you want to come back and be like, oh, hey, this is wrong, and then I explain to you like, oh, it's actually right, it's just you're that's wrong, and they would go, oh, my bad, sorry about that, I didn't know. I'll happily replace anything. I don't care. Like, it's not my food, it's not my money. I just work for my boss. I'll give you free shit. Like, fuck it. But when you come in there with that stinky attitude, bro, that stinky attitude, being ignorant as well, nah, I ain't got no sympathy for you, brother. I think the main one, and this happens so many times that I couldn't even give you like a specific example because it genuinely happens like once a week or once every 2 weeks, right? It's when somebody forgets to order something, they order for a big group of people or something, they forget an order, and then they call up and they get angry at me because they forgot to order something, right? Because they don't want to admit in front of the other people that they fucked the order up and they shafted someone out of their food. They don't want to admit that. So the easiest solution for them is just to call up the shop and just pretend that they ordered it and then take it out on me instead, right? But obviously I don't stand for any of that shit because look, while I know I am, but I try to not be arrogant at that job. But I mean, I've been there so long, I know what the fuck I'm doing. It's very rare I fucking order up like that now. It does happen sometimes, but it's very rare, right? So when they try and take it out on me, I'll just say straight, I'll be like, nah, you didn't order that, I'm afraid. If you want to get it, that's fine. We'll even deliver it to you, free delivery. You just have to pay for the food. They're like, well, I'm not paying for it. I already said it on the order, blah, blah, blah. If you don't do this, I'm never coming back. And I just say, good riddance, bruh. What, did you think that I was going to fold from that threat? Dude, you not coming back is a fucking gift to me. You are doing me a favor by keeping your presence away from my life. I don't need that negativity. Do you know what I mean? That drives them nuts. Yeah, that really drives them nuts. I feel like people have such a wrong perspective on life, and I don't know why this is such a common fucking thing, a common myth that people believe, but people genuinely believe if you call up some sort of company, it doesn't matter if it's food, if it's your phone provider, if it's your internet, if it doesn't matter what it is, they think if you shout and get angry, they will give you free stuff. And it's like the biggest myth that exists on this fucking planet, that people think that you need to be like angry and shout at them just to get it. I don't know why people believe this. I really don't. Like, they don't realize if you just literally called up with the exact same words, but just say it in a non-argumentative way, you're gonna get the exact same results. But for some reason, people have been like brought up to believe that if you get angry and you get start shouting, and it's like, oh, because you're angry, they just want to get it over and done with, and oh, look at how emotional I am because of what you did, brother. It's the complete opposite for me, just out of pure ego on my end, right? If you call up and you start getting angry at me, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure you don't get what you want. I don't give a fuck how petty it is. I really don't, bro. Who do you think you are talking to me like that? You know what I mean? Like, that's not how it works around here, buddy. And luckily, my boss gives me free reign to basically do whatever the fuck I want. Within reason, right? I think the reason he gives it to me is because if I've made a mistake, I'm not going to fuck anyone over. But yeah, if you call up with that energy and you start trying to be a little dickhead about it, I will do everything to make sure you do not get what you want. So yeah, maybe just don't be a dick. I don't know why it's so hard for people in this day and age just not be a dick. But customer's always right. Customer's a fucking dickhead. Realistically, that's what the saying should be. That's what the saying should be. Most customers are dickheads. I'm not gonna lie. I'm exaggerating. 90% of my customers are actually great people. I actually really enjoy most of them. But you know, it's that small like 5 to 10% that kind of, you know, taint the opinion of the rest. But anyway, it's been your boy Big Ol' Jimbo, and I will see you in the next. Peace.